So let's look at another question. It's very similar to the previous one. First of all, we have to think about the prototype. What was the original before transformation? The very original one is y being cosine x. It is like this, y being cosine x. And these key points, they are 90 and 180 and so on. Alright? So to get from the red one to this one, I think you do an up-down flip. You do an up-down flip, right? So up-down flip is minus, and then the lowest point used to be -1, right? When you're an up-down flip, it becomes 1, but now it goes to 2. So it is an up-down flip, and then you stretch it upwards by 2 times, all right? If you do an up-down flip, it becomes something like this. It becomes an inverted V shape, all right? It becomes something like this, but the peak is only a 1. Alright, and then you stretch it up 2 times. You stretch it 2 times. Alright, so that it becomes something like this. Okay, so now the highest point is now 2. Alright, what used to be 1 is now becoming 2. So the green one will be y is twice cosine x. Alright, -2, sorry, negative 2 times cosine x, alright, the minus being the up-down flip, the number 2 being the vertical stretch, alright. So we have a equals to -2, alright. So these C and D, they are wrong. C and D, they are wrong. Now, also on the other hand, we look at this y is cosine 2x, alright. Now cosine 2x means a horizontal compression 2 times, alright. You have to know what do this change in the equation means, alright. This is a horizontal compression 2 times. So that means the green graph is being compressed. What used to be, now this original point used to be 180, is now compressed to 90, alright. The whole graph is being compressed. It's much thinner compared to the previous one, alright. Is being compressed left and right. So what used to be 180, the peak point is now 90. So B equals to 90. Alright. So in this question, the answer goes to A, when A is -2 and B is 90. Now once again, you can check the answer. If the answer is A, that means y is -2 cosine 2x, alright. You can check the answer because you can check the answer at the peak point. This highest point, the x coordinate shall be 90 if the answer is A, right? And the y coordinate should be 2. You can put into this equation to see when x is 90, y is 2, right? Is the equation satisfied? -2 times cosine 180. Cosine 180 is -1. So indeed, this question, this answer is correct. Alright, you can check the answer by noting the position of this highest point. Now next up we have this equation. You see this compression and stretching thing, they always use trigonometric function. Starting from this one, right? These are not trigonometric, these are all trigonometric functions. So it is essential that you know the original function, the shape of the original sine cosine, alright? Now this question once again is on sine. So the original sine is like this, right? What used to be 180 and 360, right? This is 0. In red we have y being sine x. Now we have 2 changes applied to it. All of them, they are horizontal. We multiply to k and then we add theta. So let's multiply to k, alright? Now that may be a horizontal stretch or compress, but if you look at the numbers, 180, 360, we are change it down to 75 and 165. It seems that the numbers are becoming smaller. So I think it looks like a horizontal compression, isn't it? A horizontal compression. So let's try compress it 2 times. So we have from 0 to 180, alright? So this is what you have when you compress 2 times 180. This becomes 90, alright? So the new graph is y is now sine 2x, all right? If you compress it horizontally by 2 times, it is y being sine 2x. I think I should have drawn this in red and yellow. All right, so yellow it goes. All right, so this is a there's a horizontal compression by 2 times. All right, you compress the graph 2 times, so you have this. Okay. Now, but then 90 and 180 does not quite match with 75 and 165. If you shift the entire curve to the left-hand side by how much? By 15 units. All right. If you shift the entire thing to the left-hand side by 15 degrees, instead of 90, you have 75. Instead of 180, you have 65. As a bonus, you know that this is minus 15. All right. So we have this. We have in yellow we have a horizontal compression by 2 times. In blue we have a translation by 15 degrees. So how do you achieve the blue equation? We have sine. Now for the blue equation, we replace all the x's with x plus 15. All right. That is when you do a translation to the left hand side by 15 degrees, you replace all the x's with x plus 15. All right, so eventually the equation simplifies into y is sine 2x plus 30. All right, now we have everything. You match the equation, you have k equals to 2 and theta is 30 degrees, so the answer is D. All right, we have from red to yellow, from yellow to blue. From red to yellow is compressed 2 times. From yellow to blue is to compress horizontally 2 times from red to yellow. From yellow to blue, we move the whole thing to the left-hand side by 15. All right. So the corresponding change in the equation, you have y is sine 2x plus 30. Now finally, you can check the answer. Don't forget, you can always check the answer. So on the diagram, let me find checkpoints. Right, this is a good checkpoint. When x is 75, y should be 0. Right. So likewise, this is also a checkpoint. When x is 160, y is also 0. So you can take this equation and try to go through the test, all right, to see when x is 75, what is the corresponding value in y? Well, it should be 0, isn't it? Yes, indeed, y is 0, right? So it is good. And when x is 165, y should also be 0, right? So I checked 2 times and both are correct. So this is checked. All right, so the answer is indeed D. We have 2 evidence. In addition to our calculation, we have 2 checking points that we can check the answer is D.